Well, I wanted to thank you for watching our YouTube channel, and for those of you supporting our efforts to produce these videos. Thank you, thank you. You are part of spreading the gospel around the world. If you're not a partner, prayerfully consider joining our efforts to help others the way you've been helped through the teachings. We can only imagine all the places God sends these videos once we post them online. But because it's filled with His Word, we know it's bringing light into dark places. Scan our QR code and give today. It's a decision that provides everlasting benefits to you and those waiting to see these messages.
This program is made possible by the partners of Joyce Meyer Ministries.
I'm Joyce Meyer. I've seen God's power transform my own life, and He will do it for you. Let's go into another thing that I believe Satan tries to tempt us with. When we find ourselves in the presence of worldly, compromising people, Satan will tempt us to be quiet about our commitment to God. Perhaps out of the fear of embarrassment or rejection. But the longer it goes on, the more dangerous it becomes to us. You know why? Romans 1:16 says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ." We cannot be ashamed of being Christians. Now, I don't think it's our job to go out in the world and try to cram Jesus down everybody's throat. But neither do I think that we need to be quiet about Him. But a lot of Christians don't want to go fishing, they want to go catching. If they don't get somebody in the hook right away, then they're going to throw in the towel and give up. Sometimes you got to be willing to just be a Christian around somebody for a long period of time, and maybe you can't say anything at all until they say to you, "What's different about you? How can you have so much peace with all this stuff that's going on at work?" Trust me, if you get out in the world and you just be a believer, don't compromise your faith just to be part of a group that doesn't care anything about you anyway. Satan has scored a victory when he is successful in presenting compromising Christians to the world. Because then we hear the word hypocrite. You're nothing but a hypocrite. And the world hates that. There's nothing more exciting to demons than to see a Christian continue outward disciplines of the Christian faith, like going to church, taking communion, putting a few dollars in the offering plate, saying certain prayers, while his heart keeps moving further and further and further away from God. You can go sit in a garage all day and that don't make you a car. And you can sit in church 4 times a week and that doesn't make you a Christian. A Christian is not about wearing a cross around your neck and having a bumper sticker on your car and having a big Bible and knowing how to say a few Christian phrases. It's what is your heart toward God. And if you really have a right relationship with God, it's going to ooze out of you. Matthew 15:8, "These people draw near me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." We don't want to be like that. Don't just go to church on Sunday and not think about God the rest of the week. Let Him be the center of your life and the most important person to you. You know what a Christian is who does all the outward stuff but has no real heart toward God? They're a phony. And the last thing I want to be is phony. You know, I don't stand up here and teach you guys things that I don't apply to my own life. I was talking to somebody the day we got here at lunch, and I forget now how the subject came up, but I said, I spend the first hour or 2 hours of the morning not getting a message to preach to you, but keeping myself straight with God. I go to Him for me. I read the Word for me, and I study for me. Because we're not really fit to lead other people to Christ if we're just a phony that has learned how to say all the right words, but we don't have the fruit in our life. And so one of the best examples that I found in the Bible is in Matthew 21:18 through 22. In the early dawn, the next morning, as he being Jesus, was coming back to the city, he was hungry. You know, can I tell you that the world is hungry for something genuine? and something real. I mean, people are looking, and if they know you're a Christian, they are looking at you. People are watching you. That's why we really can't be phony. We've got to be the real deal. And he saw one single leafy fig tree above the road. And he went to it, but he found nothing on it but leaves, seeing that in the fig tree the fruit appears at the same time as the leaves. And he said, never again shall fruit grow on you. And the fig tree withered up at once and died. Now, may sound silly, but I used to feel sorry for this fig tree. I thought, well, I didn't get it. I didn't understand why Jesus cursed the fig tree just because it didn't have what he wanted. He was hungry. He saw leaves on the fig tree. But a fig tree, when it has leaves, is always supposed to have fruit under those leaves. So when he went to this fig tree to get something to eat, all he found was leaves. And I think that's what happens a lot of times with believers. We've got leaves but no fruit. You know, even Adam and Eve tried to cover up their mess with leaves, and it didn't work for them either. And it's not going to work for us. We've got to have real, genuine fruit. Another thing the devil tempts people to do is to do nothing fruitful with their time. Just waste all your time in vain pursuits. He tempts people to stay up late staring at a television show they don't like, or worrying about things they can't do anything about, so then they miss out on the sleep they need to be healthy. Then they're tired, and they feel bad physically, so they're more easily led into temptation. Then they overeat because they don't feel good, so that makes them mad because now they're gaining weight. Now they get easily offended. Come on, things have roots in our life. We can't just look at our life and say, how did I get in this mess? You start asking God to show you the root of your problems. Come on, the root of your problems. I've got an example that I give that I know that refrigerators are not like this now, but when I was a young mom and my kids were little, sometimes I would open the refrigerator and there would be a bad smell in there. Anybody ever had that? It's like, ew, what is that? And so, you know, move a few things around, maybe throw a few things away, but sometimes the stink would stay. And the only way I could really find out what it was to just take everything apart and really get down to the bottom where the drain was at and see what was going on. And a lot of times it was because something had drained. There used to be a drain down the bottom. Any of you people remember when there was wasn't it messy? You'd get down there with all that gunk, and boy, you talk about stinking, but sure enough, you cleaned that up, and it was good. Well, what I usually started out doing was I would spray something in the refrigerator or put some baking soda in there. And I tell you, we've got to stop just spraying something on our lives and think it's going to take care of all the stink. We need to get down to the bottom of what's going on. You might be surprised how much better your life would be if you just go to bed at night and get some sleep. Well, I'm tired. Well, does that give you a right to be grouchy all day with everybody else because you're tired? You know what the answer to that is? Go to bed. You know, there's a lot of sickness in the world today, and a lot of sickness and disease. And one thing we should make sure of, if we are sick, let's at least ask ourselves, have I contributed to this because I'm just not taking care of myself? I don't think you cared for that much. Is it because I'm not sleeping? I never exercise? I live on sugar? I drink a 6-pack of soda pop every day that's full of sugar. I never drink water. I've got way too much stress in my life. I'm worried all the time. If you can't do anything about it, then by all means believe God for a miracle. But if there is something you can do, you may not like this, but I can tell you something. If we keep abusing ourselves, God is not going to just keep us happy and healthy. We need to start cooperating with God.